One of my all-time favorite videos on here is an old-timey video from several years ago called An Important Question. And it basically poses the question, what are you going to tell kids when they ask, when you saw the facts that said we are doing unthinkable damage to the planet that sustains our life, what are you going to say? What are you going to say when when they ask you, why didn't you do something to stop the harm that was being done? And I think it's a great question. And I'll put a link to that video below this one. But this is another very important question. See, I know that chemical fertilizer and modern farming practices do immense damage to the land base, the topsoil, the farmland that's being used. And I have all kinds of statistics and numbers and whatnot saying, fertilizer's bad. Monocultures are bad. But if I convince an actual farmer, fertilizers are bad, and he says, well, what do I do? I say, well, shit, I don't know. You're just bad. No, and I don't want to do that. I would like to be able to give some sort of viable solution, some transition movement that can be made, but I honestly don't know. How does a farmer continue to make a living and transition into a way of farming that doesn't leave him broke, and homeless? Does anybody have any ideas on, where this conversation could go? Where I explain, chemical fertilizer is bad. Farming this way is not good for the future. And then if somebody buys that, if the conversation continues, where do I go? What advice? What suggestions could I make? How can a farmer, someone who farms for a living, make a living and transition out of this destructive manner of doing so? Any suggestions, any ideas? I would love to open up this conversation. I would love to hear your input. I thank you. Take care.